So there's an old joke, some of you may know it, but it's very instructive, so that's why I picked it. Not to, well, perhaps make you laugh too, but it's instructive in the following sense that a president of a country visited what they call the mental institution these days.
Asylum?
Facility?
Lunatic asylum?
What is it?
Correctional facility?
Correctional?
It's prison. Mental
That's
asylum.
more, that usually refers to a prison.
No,
Oh, is
it
it?
also refers to mental institutions.
Really?
Yes.
All right.
Sociologically speaking.
So folks need to be corrected. Is that idea?
The loony bin.
So, to me sounds even more aggressive. Well, anyway, so the president of a country visits this correctional institution, and as he's going around checking out the patients and offering a few sweet words, as a president, every president should, he wants to get a few more votes. One of the patients asked him, "Who are you?" And he said that he was the president of the country. And the patient told him that, last time I said that, they locked me up. So, so that is the misidentification. So similarly, irrespective of one's cultural, social, philosophical, spiritual predisposition, identifying oneself with a particular makeup, it's very important in the sense that it ultimately brings about different types of results. One thing I was reading just the other day about two things that hamper one's spiritual progress. But then as I was reading this, I was thinking, my God, this hampers anybody's progress. And one leads to the other. So I thought, well, this should be of interest to anyone, whether one is spiritually inclined or not. So first one is called atyahara, which means to desire to collect, desire to possess. I want things. And then the desire to possess naturally leads to prayasa. Prayasa means over-endeavoring. So one naturally leads to the other. Now, why would one want to, of course we all possess some things. I mean, I possess something as a monk. Sometimes even more to some other people. So why would one want to over-possess, possess more than necessary? Sure.
Lust.
Lust, okay, yeah, that's a good one. Certainly one good reason. But I just want to quickly finish this, and then we can open up. Is that okay?
No, I just want to say something. Like why he does.
Yeah, but thank you. Why would I want to collect more than one really needs? Because the door's open. No. Because when one identifies oneself with matter rather than with spirit, the natural tendency is to think. This is automatic thinking. Whoever thinks I'm a physical product, by nature I'm physical. Even if some people might be thinking, yes, I'm physical, but I have a soul. Even then, that's not enough. One will naturally think that my highest benefit lies in material acquisition. And that's where it's at. And even though philosophically one may try to explain it away, but deeply psychologically one's convinced about this matter. So, as soon as one thinks like that, next thing is atyahara, in other words, collecting. And this collecting takes place on two levels. Takes place on the personal level and the collective level. On the personal level, first we collect, and then we over-endeavor. And then that creates the third thing, which is called disturbance of the mind. And you find this on personal and collective level everywhere. I mean, why do two countries go in war? Will go to war? I mean, it's always. I mean, well, which TV channel you watch, but I guess depends what TV channel you're educated by. You may have different opinions. But I don't know of a war that has not been fought over material resources. Who's going to own and control material resources? And then on the personal level, as you want to collect things, then you have to over-endeavor, and it just one thing leads to another. And because one's mind is disturbed, a basic philosophical inquiry goes out the window, because the mind is constantly disturbed. Primary, if you think of this country or any country in the world, primary concern of the politics of every country is economics. Why not philosophy? But no, it's economics. Because it goes back to the same root that people individually identify themselves as material products, therefore they naturally want to possess, and therefore there's over-endeavor, which often involves hurting others, hurting oneself, and so on. And then this disturbance, I'd like to read you a quote, a short quote. Then this disturbance comes of two types: disturbance of the mind. One disturbance of the mind is over-attachment to material things. And the other one is anger that arises from it. Because as soon as you're attached to something, the nature of this world is, if you like something, someone else will like it too. Whether it's a boyfriend, a girlfriend, a car, instrument, you got your instrument stolen. There's going to be fight over it. So there is, and then the other type of anger is due to frustration when we do not achieve these things. When we do not achieve these things, then we're frustrated. And we're also frustrated when we do achieve things, but at the end they leave us disappointed, which they always do, because that's the nature of material, of the contact of the senses with material sense objects. No matter what it is, eating, sleeping, sex, gambling, driving, I mean, whatever sensual pleasure you think of, it always starts great and ends it's the opposite way. So here's a short quote. Now this was written in I think it was mid or late 60s. So for those of you who may not know, but back in those days there was quite a bit of strain between the United States of America and the Soviet Union, and they called it Cold War. Why Cold War? Because they're two superpowers. They never confronted each other directly, but rather whenever there was some incident anywhere in the world, they would typically take opposite sides. Like Americans would take one side and Russians would take the other, But they would never directly enter the conflict. That's why they called it Cold War. And another reason why they were afraid to enter a direct conflict is because both superpowers had atomic weapons. And I mean, whoever pushed the button first, you can imagine the rest. Probably wipe out much of the population on the globe. So in that context, my spiritual teacher wrote this, just a couple of sentences here. The modern trend of material civilization is to increase the temperature of the feverish material condition, which has reached the point of 107 degrees in the form of atomic energy. In other words, just like fever in the body, when it increases, at one point you can die. If it goes 108, I think you die. Is it 108?
Yes.
107 is pretty dangerous. 107 is...
Yeah, 108 you're gone. That's like, have to be superhuman to survive that one. That's why it's saying that. Meanwhile, the foolish politicians are crying that at any moment the world may go to hell. That is the result of the advancement of material knowledge and the neglect of the most important part of life, the culture of spiritual knowledge. So it all goes back. All goes back to the first and most important question. What the heck am I? Then by knowing what the heck am I, then I can start talking about, my meaning over here and the meaning of my existence. And the natural result of identifying oneself as matter is this kind of feverish thing. Like nowadays too, people are just so feverishly shopping, and actually it's kind of relaxing now due to the economic conditions, which is good. Keeps people a little more sober. But otherwise, the fever just increases, and then on personal level increases. Like if you if you have a job somewhere where people are very competitive, or just the market in general, it's so competitive. I mean, it's like there's no mercy. There's no human qualities out there. It's just like who's going to cut others' throat and come on top. And it's okay. But that's not okay. That's totally not human. And it hurts. And it hurts like hell. Hurts personally, and then ultimately hurts collectively. So, I'll stop there.